Hello everyone, welcome back to Royalty Soaps. Before we make today's pumpkin soap, which is the most autumnal soap we make here at Royalty Soaps, I just want to let you know that the autumnal collection is live. We have 4 different artisan soaps, the frosted soap that we're making today, and we have 6 different bundles, and all of them ship free in the United States. I'm really excited to share another frosted soap with you. The soap we are making today is the Gourmand fragrance of the month. This is such a throwback to like original Royalty soaps. I even did some little leaf piping on it. You guys are gonna love it. So without further ado, let's make some soap. Are you guys ready to make our pumpkin soap for this year? We're gonna start by pouring our lye water solution into our oils. This is a custom blended fragrance this year. I really leaned into the pumpkin, the vanilla, the warmth, but I cut back a little bit on anything that smelled too artificial. I've noticed a lot of pumpkin smells can go a bit sickly sweet, and I really tried to pull back from that. Think like a pumpkin loaf, not a pumpkin cream cheese cupcake with too much frosting. All right, we're gonna pour off our one accent color. This is not gonna be fragranced, otherwise it will turn a very yucky shade of brown. Now we're going to add our orange to this. We're gonna mix that up really good. And then I'm going to pour off some of this. Add a little bit of TD in there and give it a good blend. Awesome, so we have our 2 oranges, lighter and darker. Then for our base recipe, we're gonna add in some brown. And now that I've sort of stabilized the discoloration by adding a little bit of that brown oxide, I can add in my fragrance oil. And like I said before, this is a custom blend this year. My pumpkin smells in the past do thicken up a little bit, so I'm going to hand blend. Nothing to worry about really, just something to work with. And so far, so good. Everything is behaving well. And it smells scrumptious. Not too sweet, not too spicy. All right, let's start by pouring in our batter here. I can feel it starting to get a little bit warm. I'm about to pour, I'd say, 1/3 of the way up, just so that I don't have the accent colors sitting too far down in the soap. I want them to look really swirly and not squished. Just 1 up, 1 down, and same thing for this one. 1 up, 1 down. Then I'm gonna pour a little bit more of this brown. I don't wanna mix this too much because if I do, it will start to overpower my accents and they will get too mixed, and as the soap discolors, it just won't look that nice. All the little wispy edges will start to turn brown. Oh, Catherine, how dare you pour with your left hand, you stinker. Don't you know what that does? Every single time I try to pour with my left hand, this happens, and I get so caught up in what I'm doing, I just forget. Minor issues, keep going, it's fine. All right, we're gonna leave that one just like so. This one closest to me now is going to be the one that I scrape the rest into. There's always one that isn't quite as full as the others. You know, I got a whiff the other day when I went out. This happens every year. You know when you go outside and there's like a smell that happens for the first time and you go, oh, autumn is coming. That happened to me the other day, even though while I'm filming this, it's literally mid-August. Like that time for Texas won't come for probably another 2 months. And you guys know, I'm a summer girly through and through. Some of that is just because I love swimming, like as a pastime. It's not necessarily because I love the Texas heat. Don't get me wrong, the Texas heat is, one could use the word oppressive and still be accurate. So it would make sense that I should like fall a bit more because it's whenever everything is still a little bit alive, like we haven't had a freeze yet, but it also isn't so blue blazing hot outside. And I do enjoy that much. I just like swimming a lot. lot. I don't know what to tell you. I swim every day. You guys have seen my hair in the intros and outros. It doesn't matter how much conditioner you put on it. When you swim like 2 to 3 hours a day, woo, good luck. I've honestly thought about creating a deep conditioner just for my fine, thin hair. Because I've used deep conditioners before, but every single time without fail, they have made my hair so oily. And it's like deep conditioner equals my hair is weighed down. I like never see any real benefits from it besides, oh wow, all right, everything's greasy. I look like Gollum with my 3 hairs. All right, our bases are in. Let's get our frosting ready to go. Okay, admittedly, this soap frosting is still a little runny, but I have 3 embeds. Is that right? Do I have 3? Yes, I have 3 embeds, plus kind of some detailed piping to put on top, so I kind of can't afford to waste any more time. Which means the bottom ribs, that sounds so odd, but like the ribbing on the piping won't be as detailed on the bottom. It's okay. They're still holding up quite well, as you can see. Anyway, starting to get into that fall feeling. Last year, I enjoyed decorating with nature. The kids and I made like little salt dough decorations that we hung in the windows. Another thing that I am hoping to accomplish in the fall is some calisthenics. Both of my sisters have been really into calisthenics over the summer, and I've been aware of calisthenics. Well, I did gymnastics when I was younger, but as an adult, and I've always thought it looked so fun to be able to use your own body for strength. I did surfing and I loved that. I've done skateboarding and I've loved that. It feels like calisthenics is like a fun thing to add. But whenever my chronic issues were kind of at their worst and I was the heaviest that I've been, it was really hard for me to keep my balance. And quite frankly, I was just not strong enough to hold myself up. I probably could have worked my way up to that, but it was so discouraging to not be able to do sort of basic building blocks of calisthenics. Then I just figured that as I took care of my chronic health issues and I was less heavy and bloated and puffy and tired as time went on, it would just be a better idea to start a little bit later after I had, figured out what works for me and we had a plan and I started to see results and I wasn't as tired and blah, blah, blah. And now we're at that point. And I just think cozy calisthenics in the autumn will be so fun. I'm trying to plan a trip with my sisters and Lily and my mom to Rhode Island, Boston, and Vermont in the fall. I think this would be so helpful for my own inspiration for products. It'd be so fun to do kind of like a Little Women tour. Y'all may or may not know, but my mom's grandmother name is Marmee, like Marmee and Little Women. And Little Women as a book has meant so much to my family. It would be so cool to see Orchard House. All right, let's put our little cutie pumpkins on. I'm actually going to turn these just a little bit so I can make sure that I'm putting them on straight. You guys know how I am. This is where I see a ton of people take their gloves off in soap making because it does kind of give you fiddly fingers and it's a lot harder to do embed placement even with something like a big pair of tongs. It can be done, don't get me wrong, but it is a lot harder and I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, this is the part of the soap making process where you should have your gloves on. Your hand is literally as close to the soap as it's going to get. I am in no way, shape, or form trying to become the soap making police. There just has never been a time in human existence when so many people were able to document their bad safety practices and upload them so that millions of people can see them. It's literally unparalleled. I find that sometimes that really is like 100% just lack of education queen. There are some people out there that literally don't know, but if you're watching me, you're watching Soap Queen, and you're watching any other reputable person on YouTube giving cold process soap making tips, advice, tutorials, all of us talk about safety. All of us wear proper safety gear, eye protection, etc. And it's just such a dangerous thing to be putting out for tons of impressionable people that may think that they can just, you know, start mixing stuff up on their kitchen counter in a tank top and shorts and sandals with no eye protection. Now we're gonna put our little pumpkins onto the side. Woo, this is gonna take a while. Hope you guys are doing well this week. Hope those of y'all who have started back to school are feeling refreshed and inspired to learn. Our back to school started a little bit early this year. My mom and I do a co-op together with my friend Caroline's mom. Caroline's mom doesn't have any kids in the house anymore, but she does come and help with teaching, and we just absolutely love being with her. And we do this once a week so that I get to teach something and my mom gets to teach something, so we can tackle those harder subjects together. And of course, my mom has so many more years on me. However, we are both raising children the same age. So my sister Marilee and my brother Moses are dappled in between my kids Lily and Will. Essentially, it's like Lily and Moses are in the same grade, and like Will is one grade below and Marilee is one grade above, so that we can tackle some things together. So we do sciences. We're going to do an exercise class. I think my sisters are actually going to teach that. So it's kind of just a day that we get to be together and have structured time for learning. My mom does really fun science experiments with the kids. So this year I get to teach high school geography, which I'm so y'all have no idea. Like, I love geography. I love everything about it. Like, there is not a country that I don't want to visit. Like, I care so much. And come to find out, my sisters ended up being kind of the same way. Like, we want to travel everywhere. So if you're listening to all that and you're like, wow, Katie, sounds like you have a lot on your plate. Yes. So there's like certain things that I've never done as an adult because I don't have time. Like, I have like 3 friends and I see them all once a quarter because my day-to-day is like swamped. And you know what? It works for me. I don't feel lonely at all. I used to when I was younger because I felt like there was a standard for what I was supposed to be. Like, at this point in your 30s, you're supposed to be able to invite this many people over to your birthday party. And I kept being exposed to people that have like enormous friend groups. And so I was like, oh no, I'm behind. I really just have my one buddy who I've just loved forever. And I don't know, does that mean I'm like unsocial or something? No, it doesn't. And I never should have put that amount of stress on myself. Also, I really like going and doing. And I think I've talked about like next year, I kind of want to do a farmer's market. My mom always jokes and she's like, oh, you want to be with people, all right? You just want to be with strangers. It's kind of true. Like, I like to meet you guys when y'all come up in public. I'd love to do a conference. Like, that's just where my heart is at. But like the constancy of like seeing friends and stuff once a week, it's not going to work for me. Not at this point in my life. Lily's birthday is coming up. She is going to be 8 years old. For those of y'all who have been with me a very long time, just let that sink in. If you knew me pre-Lily, she's gonna be 8. You've been here for 8 years. And quite frankly, the first time I made this soap design, I think I was in Sudsington Palace, which would have been the pie shop. I wasn't even married at that point in time. So you can just let that sink in. If you're like, oh yeah, I remember the first time you made a little pumpkin soap. Yeah, bestie, that was like 5 different houses ago. I'm just going to put some leaves on this. I used to really stress about my leaves being perfect, and now I'm like, listen, have you ever seen a pumpkin vine? Y'all, they're crazy. There is no rhyme or reason to a pumpkin vine. They're bizarre. They have so many leaves, so many runners going everywhere and getting on top of everything. We don't have to worry about perfection. We're not doing that anymore. We're too old. I also used to put vines on this, but the vines can make it very difficult, I would say, to package without things breaking. So I'm probably not going to do that this year. I'll just do the leaves. Second piping here. Looks so good. That is lovely. Every time I make this soap, I am like, oh my gosh, it's the best. And then I forget about it and I'll look back on it and be like, yeah, it's nice. Like, pictures never fully do it justice. This soap is definitely for the people who are doing maximalist 90s fall. I can see a lot of people who are just sick and tired of certain types of aesthetics. And they're like, remember how things were in our childhood where there were lots of like kind of cutie clutter and everything felt whimsical? Like, whimsy is back on the rise, and this is for the whimsical girls, the ones who want to put garlands everywhere for every season. Wow, so gorge. All right, this is what it looks like all done. I'm gonna let this sit for 18 to 24 hours. We'll come back tomorrow and I will finally get to smell that custom blended pumpkin fragrance in a soap bar. I've smelled it in other applications. I haven't smelled it in cold processed soap yet. So that will be fun and exciting. We'll do all of that after this quick commercial break. All right, folksies, look at these green leaves the next day. Isn't that different from how it was yesterday? I'm gonna go ahead and peel away our silicone liner. I actually let this sit for a couple days. It's set up pretty good, but sometimes certain soaps just need a few more days to get hard in the mold. Pop that out of the silicone mold. Love my silicone liners. It's awesome. It reduces our paper and plastic waste because I can buy the silicone mold one time, and then for us, they're good about 3 to 4 years, and we make thousands and thousands of bars of soap every single year, which is tons and tons of paper and plastic saved. Not literal tons, but I just mean a lot. All right, I'm gonna turn this on its side. Hopefully my embed placement is looking pretty good. Okay, I think it's pretty good. Go ahead and press down gently. Perfect. I'm gonna pull one out of the middle. This is what it looks like on the inside. So you can see we are starting to get some discoloration there. Come on, camera. Focus. Focus, I beg of you. Come on. Okay, well, that's close enough. You can see the browning around the edge. That is how dark this will be in about a week. So it's dark, but it's not black. This isn't like the worst discoloration I've ever seen. Ooh, my nails. I'm sorry, I'm so distracted. I'm like, woo, shiny. I did these myself. I will leave you guys the things that I use. They're on Amazon. I started doing my nails at home because every time I went to the salon, my nails got so beaten up. They just, I bleed so easily. I've got really thin skin from where I've had eczema for years, so I've started doing them at home. They last me about 2 to 3 weeks on average doing them at home, and all the stuff that I got is on Amazon. I think I paid about $80 to get everything, and I mean, hey, I've done my nails. I do them every 2 weeks pretty routinely. It's one of the things I do now to calm down, relax. It's something not soap or work related, and you get to express your creativity. It's super fun. Anyway, back to the soap. It will get darker as the soap sits, but these swirls are perfect. And what we really want to see is these colors remain as vivid as they are right now. Right now, they are looking super, super vivid. You can definitely see the difference between this light colored orange and the dark colored orange. So I'm pleased with that. I'm not going to make any adjustments to this soap design. The fragrance the next day is phenomenal. And think pumpkin warmth, pumpkin goodness. Don't think pumpkin candle. That is not what this smells like. This is not sticky sweet. It's a little bit more on the spice side, but not so spicy you're worried for your skin. These are big bars of soap. This is a very commonly asked question at Royalty Soaps, is how big are these frosted top soap bars? Because they look enormous. Well, my hands are rather large. I have a size 7 or 8 ring size, and you can see if I put them at the very tips of my fingers how much of my hand they're holding up. It's a big bar. It's anywhere between 6 to 7 ounces ish. Lots of people who purchase from me cut these soap bars in half, and then you can use them at 2 sinks. Now tell me, what are you looking forward to this autumnal season? I know that we're just on the cusp of it. It's just now coming into the fall season, but I really would love to hear from you. Some things that you're looking forward to, big or small, doesn't have to be huge. This bar literally never misses. I am so pleased with the fragrance. I'm probably not going to tweak it anymore. I think after many years of messing with this fragrance, I finally found the perfect balance of pumpkin and spice. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give us a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment down below answering the question of the day. Be sure you do something fun for yourself today, whether that's going out and picking pumpkins for your front doorstep or even your apartment like balcony area, or checking out some new recipes that you're hoping to whip up just in time for the cooler seasons. You know, I don't really care what you do, just do something for you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So until then, bye for now.